Hello, my loves, and welcome to Create Your Life. My name is Simone Lea, and I'm your host. And I am so excited to be here with you guys today because I have just released my 100th episode. And what I thought would be super cool would be to interview myself the way I would normally interview one of my guests. So today's show is going to be a little bit different, but I really hope you guys enjoy it because I'm going to be talking to you about some things that you may not know about me or things that you could learn based on if someone was or if I was interviewing myself, really. So I hope you guys enjoy this show, and I'm really looking forward to just jumping into this with you. So let's go. So first question I always ask everyone is, what does creating a life you love look like to you? And to me, creating a life you love is having that freedom to be yourself, to explore the things in life that you want to explore, and to live the life that you want to live. So if you're someone who has a family and you want to be spending a lot of time with your family, creating a life you love looks like spending that time with that family. And if you're someone who wants to travel the world, then that looks like you being someone who can travel the world. Creating a life you love is creating a life that brings you joy and happiness and makes you feel excited when you get up in the morning. It's something that you're grateful for and just overjoyed to be living. Now, for me, creating a life I love, it looks like being able to travel when I want to travel. I'm also a Latin dancer. I dance a lot of salsa, and being able to go to Latin events and pay to learn from the best in the world in Latin dancing. These things are things that I want to do, and they're fun. Being able to do my exercise and my social time, which is what it is for me. It's my exercise, it's my social time. It strengthens my mental and physical bodies because I'm learning, growing. I have to think quickly, and being able to explore that for myself, that's amazing. That's what creating a life I love looks like to me. It also looks like being able to share my knowledge and my wisdom with the world, being able to help and inspire others, being able to guide the way and show them things that haven't worked for me so that they don't have to do that on their journey. Maybe they can save some time. And it also means having community and having people around me that uplift me and inspire me and give me support. Having the people around me who make me feel good and who I enjoy making feel good in return. Having those important people in my life. So having a life I love, it means having the freedom to travel where I want to travel, do the things I want to do, give back and have a business that lights me up, and also to be surrounded by people that I just love and care for and who love and care for me in return. Having a life I love is literally just always being able to evolve and grow and learn and expand and create. Knowing that no day has to be the same. If I want to change my day, I can. If I want to do something different, I can. If I want to try something new, I can. That's what creating a life I love looks like to me. So how did I get started in business? So I actually grew up on a farm, which was amazing, and I went to a private school in Victoria, in Australia, which was a really great experience for me. And I thought that I would be that girl that went to school, a bit of a book nerd, got good grades. And I always thought that I would go to uni and do something, like business or finance or accounting or something like that. I didn't know what I would do, but I always thought that I would be a professional in some way. And in year 11, I read Rich Dad, Poor Dad and suddenly decided that I would prefer to go to the school of life. So straight away, I was like, I'm not going to uni. The things I want to learn, I prefer to learn on the fly anyway. I don't need a piece of paper to become an entrepreneur. I want to do the thing. And so I didn't go to uni. I finished school and I had probably 7 or 8 months off, like from actually like really doing anything major, like in terms of my goals and aspirations and businesses. But what I did start doing was teaching singing and piano from home. So I started teaching singing and piano, and this was amazing. This taught me so many life skills in how to get clients, book clients, actually having a business, keeping accounting records, showing up, keeping my commitments. It was a really great learning experience for me. And I had had part-time jobs beforehand, but having my own business in singing and teaching piano as well, it really put it on me to show up for the people who were showing up to my lessons, and that was such a great experience. And I knew that I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I knew that having some business in some way, it was just a stepping stone. And at the time, I was going to a lot of investment groups. I had mentors. I was always surrounding myself with successful people, property investors, business owners, everyone who was kind of doing the things that I wanted to do. I was constantly surrounded by them, and I was always on the lookout for a business that I could start that would really align with me and really make me happy and make my soul sing. And when I was about 19, 20 years old, I realized that I just didn't have the confidence in myself that I wanted to have. I'd grown up fairly sheltered, and I hadn't really got out there and lived yet, and I just didn't have that confidence. So I made the decision to start going to pole dancing classes, which was about an hour away from my house, and I would do the drive one day a week and go to class because I thought it would be really good for empowerment and my physical strength, and I thought it would be fun, something different, got me out of my shell. And after a couple of months of doing pole dancing classes, I was like, I need to bring this back to where I live. I need to open a studio. And so that's what I did. I worked my butt off, and I trained and I trained and I put together a curriculum, and I went and talked to the council and started doing the thing. And yeah, eventually I managed to put the studio together, which was amazing. And that became an actual business before I was 21. So that was phenomenal. I had 7 staff, multiple teachers, people teaching my curriculum, people that were just coming in and teaching their own thing. I had hip hop teachers, yoga teachers, those sort of different modalities in dancing and women's empowerment. That's what the business was about. So things like belly dancing and yoga were really great for other people's and women's confidence and strength, and providing that safe space for women over 18 to come and really feel good about themselves and what they're doing was so important to me. And I loved that business so much. And there were so many little things that I learned and did along the way. And I think that I started that business when I was so young, and I was very familiar with the idea of outsourcing. And I outsourced a lot of the admin. Now, one thing I have learned is that I wouldn't have done that now if I was to do that again. And what I mean when I say that is that I literally had no comprehension of administration at all, how to do it, the best ways to do it, or what to do. And it was one of those things where I kind of just palmed that off and didn't worry about it. And I think that while I think that's a really good way to grow a business, I think that you need to have an understanding of what it is you're outsourcing. So my time management was terrible. My bookkeeping was terrible. All of these things for the size of that business and with the staff I had weren't up to par. And I just handed all of that over to a staff member. And I think that if I did that again now, I would really work with someone to have a solid understanding of those skills, because I think that I did develop those skills later on in other businesses that I had. And I think that you can outsource, but I feel like you need to be able to talk about what you're outsourcing. So for example, I feel like you need to have a couple of hours worth of learning and understanding of what it is you're trying to get the other person to do. Because if they try and talk to you about it and you have no idea, how are you supposed to help them course correct? Or how are you supposed to course correct if something goes wrong? So the biggest thing there, I would say, is at that age, I learned that there were things that I needed to upskill myself in. And she did a great job. There was nothing wrong with what she did. But I feel that it was irresponsible of me as a business owner to completely outsource something I literally knew nothing about. So that would be one of the main things I learned there. I obviously learned some practical skills of how to put together a dance studio, hiring staff, finding things for the business, putting together a company, getting a business loan, which I did. So there was a lot of little things that I learned along the way, which was super fun. And I actually really loved putting this together. Those 3 months of putting this business together was probably one of the best times in my life. I just rolled out of bed, went to this studio that was getting renovated, and bought cute things and put together curriculums and hired staff and found music and trained. And I loved that. And actually, I will say one thing that I consistently did in that business was I always consistently up-leveled myself in terms of the business side of things with the actual pole studio. So I was the one who put that curriculum together. So I was the main pole dancing teacher, and I continued to upskill myself every Wednesday. I was never at the studio. I was always up learning more things, more dance styles, more things that I could teach my students and pass on, because I wanted the girls who come to me to always be learning and growing, which meant I needed to be learning and growing. So that is a pro tip. I would highly recommend that. That's definitely something that is just a part of me that I really like. I also did end up selling that business, so I learned a lot when I did that as well. And I think that just came down to me having had that business for a period of time and then deciding, you know what, I don't want a physical business anymore. I want a business that's not location dependent. So I ended up selling that business, and I moved house, moved cities, took some time out, took about a year off, and thought about what I wanted to start next. And that year I spent planning my next move. Now, I did meet someone when I was midway through setting up that next business that put that next business on hold, because even though it wasn't a physical location business, in the setup process of the first year, I really did need to be quite grounded for that business due to the style of business it was. So I did put that one on hold and I never came back to it, but that's okay. I've never beat myself up for that. And that's another thing I would highly recommend, is don't beat yourself up for the things that you do. Just try them, and if they don't work or they do work, that's okay. Both are okay. I spent a lot of money on that second business, or third business technically, that I was in the process of setting up before I met that partner. And it doesn't worry me that never became an actual business. I learned a lot. I learned so many things in that setup process, new things, because it was a different style of business to the dance studio. And so I learned so many different things. And then from there, when I was with that partner, I really had to look at remote things. And so I started looking at trading the stock market, which, with my early 20s brain, I just didn't have the emotional capacity to do 15-minute to half an hour day trades in the stock market. I just couldn't deal with the highs and the lows. I just was not emotionally able to live that life. So that is one thing that I did do, and I didn't do it well. I lost money, guys, and I'm okay with that too, because I tried it. And long-term trading, that I can do. That's not a problem for me at all. But I did learn that I can't do day trades. I'm not a day trader. I just don't have the emotional and mental capacity for it. And from there, I really, really swung into online. So from there, I decided to start a book publishing company, which was phenomenal. I love reading. I've always loved reading. I've always been a big reader. And so I decided to start the book publishing company, and I wanted to have my little claim to fame. And I was like, I'm going to get 50 books published and out in the same month, in my first month of business. It's going to be phenomenal. This is going to be my claim to fame. And I did actually do that, and it was phenomenal, and I did love it. And I have obviously now a couple of hundred books published worldwide, and I love it. And I still have royalties coming in from those books even now, even though I've kind of let that business go. Like, I haven't really done anything with that business in more than 6 years, but that was a phenomenal business for me. In that business, I learned even more about putting systems into place, keeping things organized, keeping things online, how to train staff, how to have staff who work in remote locations. I had staff from the Philippines, staff from other areas of Asia, I had staff from Canada, staff from America, and I had to run that team. At one point, there was 13 people working for me in different ways: book editors, cover designers, people doing the marketing, all of the things, formatters, that sort of thing. So I really learned how to manage an international team with that business, and I learned the tools that you need to be able to do that efficiently. And that was amazing, like really getting a handle on how to create a business that is worldwide. Those books, they're published worldwide. Even now, they come from everywhere and they can be sent to everywhere. They can be physical books or Kindle books. And the team that put that together was also worldwide. And that's amazing. Like, that's literally amazing that I could put together something like that. So that was also a phenomenal business. And so from there, I did learn some more things. From there, I started doing video editing and audio editing and getting really into the online space. And, I started doing online summits with someone. He was my mentor in the real online space of content creation. And he taught me a lot about what he knew about online events. And then I started doing some content creation, business consulting, that sort of thing. People would come to me and ask me about how to set up a YouTube channel, or how to do this, how to do that, how to do social media marketing, that sort of thing. And it was after that book publishing company and during that book publishing company that I really went online and started to really learn all of the things to do with online business. And I did that for a few years and it was phenomenal. And then the last 3 years, I really started to notice that even though I would be having these business conversations with people, there was so much inner work that needed to happen. And I feel like there's so many answers out there for people if they want to know the practical how-tos. But what's going to get you moving forward is knowing the practical how-tos and also doing the inner work that's holding you back from doing it. Because a lot of the time the answers are there. So if you're not doing or creating something, why aren't you doing and creating that thing? And so I started to really move into the inner work and consulting with people, but finding that most of that consulting was inner work related. And so I started to shift through and continue to do a lot of content creation, but instead of business consulting, starting to do a lot more inner work. And then now, as you guys know, I have the podcast and YouTube channel. I do one-on-ones with people for inner work and sometimes business consulting still as well. And there definitely is a crossover element. I like to think I'm the bridge between business and spirituality and doing the inner work, because those things are so important. It really is the energy you put into something that's going to create what it is that you want to create. You can know all the answers, but if the energy's not there, then it's going to be a little bit out. Or you can literally have the energy there and not know everything, and it's going to take off. It's really about balancing that practical with that energetic, the energetics of business, really. And it's one of those things that if you're in alignment, the sky's the limit for you. So get into alignment. That's my advice. Get into alignment, because the sky is the limit when you are. And if you can create a business from alignment and you can serve from a place of alignment, you're going to create something magical for yourself and for everyone around you. And that's the key, guys, to really get into alignment with what you want and take the action steps to do it. Take the action steps, do what you need to do to create that for yourself. You've got the vision, you know what's in alignment long term. Do the things that are going to get it moving forward. That was probably one of the biggest things I've learned, is just to keep moving forward. Keep going, keep working away. I'm 100 episodes into a podcast and YouTube channel, and I may never have started, if I'd kept worrying or thinking or overthinking or worrying about what I did and didn't know. And I've learned so much along the way in every single business that I've had, and I've loved it. I've loved all of my journeys, and I can't stress enough the importance of just taking one step after the other when it comes to business. Like, take one step forward every moment or every day, whatever it is for you. Whatever time you've got, try and move forward, move that needle forward just a little bit, and see where you land after a week, a month, a year. See where you get to, because I can't believe I'm sitting here at 100 episodes. Like, where has that time gone? But I'm so incredibly grateful for it. And I never ever would have got to 100 episodes if I hadn't have gone through everything before the podcast. So I feel truly blessed and grateful for all of my life experiences up until now. So that's my past experiences, guys. That's just a little glimpse of some of the business things and the energetic things that I've done. And so what is it that I truly believe now? I truly believe that you do need to do the thing. I believe in the law of attraction. I do think that you need to think about what you want. And then you need to feel into what you want and get into the vibration of what you want. And then you 100% need to take action and do the thing, take the steps you need to step. Yes, it's called the law of attraction, but if something comes up that's in alignment for you, that's going to get you closer to that goal, then do it if it's in alignment, keep moving forward in the ways that the universe is revealing is going to help you, because the universe is there to help you. The universe is there to just return to you the vibration that you're putting out. So if you want something and you're thinking it and you're feeling it, and you can take the aligned action that the universe is presenting, you're going to have the most magical, joyful journey, and you're going to go where you never thought you would. You're going to be blown away at the things the universe puts in front of you. And it's such a powerful journey, the people that you meet, the things that you do, the experiences you have, just by following your intuition and just following the little nudges that the universe is providing. Like, jump in and follow those nudges, do the things that feel good to you. Keep following your joy, keep following your journey, knowing what your end goal is and moving towards it all of the time. So what am I up to now? So currently I am over in Europe. I'm from Australia originally, and I've been over in Europe for 4 months now, doing some dance training, as I mentioned, and also just experiencing European life. I spent about 2 months living in Greece, training in Athens, and I have also spent another 2 months in a country called Montenegro, which is underneath Croatia. And I'm having a fabulous time just exploring myself and the world around me and experiencing all of these new things, these new experiences, these new foods, these new cultures, these new people. And it's been so fun. And the whole time I've still been working in and on my business. I've still been growing and expanding, keeping the content coming out, working with clients. I've literally loved this journey and being able to do both of these things at the same time. Travel, the dance, and the business. So all of these things at the same time. And I feel so incredibly blessed, because I am literally living a life I love. I am literally creating a life I love every single day still. And I'm so excited about that. And I honestly don't know where I'm going to land. The future for me, I'm not even 100% sure, because I'm so enjoying my journey and it hasn't unfolded yet. The next part of it hasn't unfolded. And I've really learned on this trip in the last 4.5 months to trust my intuition at what's next for me, and knowing which country to go to next, knowing which dance event to go to. I've been trusting my intuition on all of that, and it's guiding me to the most beautiful experiences. And when it comes to my business, I'm doing the same thing. I'm letting it unfold the way it wants to unfold. And there are days when I'm not doing as much work as I want to do, but there are days when I am. And those days are beautiful. And I get more done in a day that's aligned than in 2 days where I'm out of alignment. So that's been another big thing for me, is just running with the winds, take the winds and keep them going. And that's actually a trading term. They say if you've got a stock that's going up, let it run. And if it's going down, cut your losses, And I think that that's one thing that's been really, really powerful for me to learn while I've been overseas, is if I'm on a roll with work, I just keep working and I keep working and I keep working. But if there is something that I feel like I'm stuck on or I can't do, I'll give it a little bit of time, maybe 20 minutes, half an hour, and then I'll change and do something else, because there's no point in me forcing it. And that has been a life changer, game changer. It's been amazing to do that, because it's really helping me to improve my productivity, put out better content for you guys, and just overall get more done in a happier, more aligned way, because I'm listening to what's coming up. And what's coming up for me next? So obviously I'm going to be keeping the podcast and YouTube channel going, because I love them. I love that I get the ability to interview phenomenal entrepreneurs. I love that I get to make you guys amazing content that lifts your vibration. And I love that I get to share my wisdom with you guys and the experiences that I've had in business. So the YouTube channel and podcast will be continuing. I will be cutting it back down to once a week though, because there are other cool things that I want to do. So I really want to launch a online course for you guys, a mini course with all of the healing content. And I also want to launch a bigger course for anyone who does want to be a soul-led entrepreneur and who wants to do the inner work, but also needs that guidance on the physical steps it takes to create an online business. So I am in the process of putting those two courses together for you guys, and also putting together a monthly group program, which I'm super, super excited about. And that will be launching in probably 6 weeks or so, which is super cool. So I'm moving forward in that way. And I also, by the end of the year, would really like to get a book out there, another one, written for this channel, written for the soul-led entrepreneurs who want to create a life they love. So I have some amazing projects coming up in the pipelines that I really want to share with you guys and create for you guys to really enrich your life and raise your vibration. And so I'm super excited about those things. So I will be doing those in the future, and I'm so excited to share them with you. On a business and personal level, I'll keep working with my coaches and healers. And I love that. I've always loved that. I've had mentors since I was 19 years old, mentors and business coaches since I was 19. And I love it, and healers actually, because I think that it really enriches your life to work with the people who have been where you've been and who are going where you're going, or are already there, because you can just learn so much and save so much time and get all the little shortcuts. So I will keep working with my team, which I love. I will keep outsourcing things as I go along, which I love. And then on a personal level, I'll probably keep living in Europe. I absolutely love it over here. I probably won't go back to Australia. If I do, it'll be just for a couple of months, and then I'll come back and get a visa. And my plan is to live here full time because I love it. On that note, I have been traveling. So what's it been like being an entrepreneur who's basically digital nomading it? It has been phenomenal, and I have loved it. I have loved experiencing all the cultures. I've loved meeting all the people. I've learned so much about time management, keeping myself on track, the best ways to actually explore and get to know a country without actually hindering my own work and my own business, and not putting it aside. There was a lot of time when I first moved over to here where I was like, I really need to get it in my mind. This is not a holiday. This is not a holiday for me. This is my life. And I'm so excited about it. I'm so excited about my life. I feel so much gratitude for everything I'm doing, everyone I'm meeting, everything I'm experiencing. I literally love it. And I feel that anybody can have a life like mine. Anybody can create a life they love. Anybody can be a soul-led entrepreneur. And what is a soul-led entrepreneur? It's an entrepreneur who listens to their intuition, who connects with their higher self and creates from that place of love and alignment, who literally just wants to create something beautiful for themselves, fully connected to themselves, creating for the joy of creating. And that's the people that I love working with. The soul-led entrepreneurs who are out there changing the world, the visionaries, the uplifters, the people who are doing the things that they love and feeling inspired and wanting to inspire others, coaches, people with YouTube channels and podcasts, energy healers. These are the people that I love working with. These are the soul-led entrepreneurs that I enjoy, the people who are really listening to their intuition and creating from that place of alignment for themselves and for the planet, really raising the planet and just living a beautiful life full of joy and expansion, living that beautiful life that you love. Now, what would be my 3 top tips if someone wants to be a soul-led entrepreneur and create a life they love? Tip 1 would be to know your values, know your personal values, know what you want, know what you want to create for yourself on a deeper level, not just, I want to create $1 million. Why do you want to create that $1 million? What's important to you? Is it the freedom? Is it the choices that it gives you? Is it the things, what are the things you want to do with that money, Get to really know yourself, know your values, so that you can create a business that's in full alignment with you and your values, and create something that really resonates with your joy. My second tip is to really think into it, feel into it and do the thing. So it's the law of attraction. My second tip is, once you know your values, know what you want, and then spend the time to really think about it, whether that's with affirmations or journaling or just connecting in and meditating, and really think about it and then really connect with it and feel into it. Every day, feeling into what it is you want to create and taking those steps to really do the inner work on yourself and on your beliefs so that you move forward. And then obviously doing the things that move you forward, following the aligned nudges that the universe provides, really taking the steps that you need to take to create your goals and your dreams and your desires. And the third thing I would recommend is to just have fun. Don't forget that we're only here for one life. Don't get caught up in all of the little moments. Remember to enjoy where you're at, enjoy what you're doing, enjoy the people you're around. Really take that step back sometimes when you're feeling a little bit of stress or anxiety and just go, you know what, where am I at? Wait, hang on a minute. I'm creating a life and a business I love, and I might be stressed right now, but I don't really need to be. In 5 years, this won't worry me. So try and have fun, enjoy the journey, create the journey that is magical for you. Don't stress all the time about the little things. If you can spend some time finding the joy and finding the fun, you're going to expand and grow so much faster. So my recommendation there is definitely create in a fun way. Create in a way that feeds your soul and makes you happy, and let go of the little day-to-day things. They'll all work themselves out eventually, but try and do everything from a place of joy, lightness, fun, and alignment, because that is going to really just move you guys forward. And lastly, what resources would I recommend? Obviously, all of my own things, my own YouTube, my own podcast, my own courses. I would definitely recommend those. But there are things that I would recommend. I love reading. I love reading physical books. So I do read a lot of physical books. I also think getting the help you need, that's a resource in itself. So going and seeing the coaches and the mentors, or doing EFT tapping with Brad. Brad Yates is a phenomenal EFT tapping man, and he has a YouTube channel all about EFT tapping, and you can do that by yourself. You don't need to pay anyone for that. So logging on and doing the things you need to do and using the resources that are available to you, whether that's books, coaches, mentors, or YouTube channels or podcasts that are going to help you get where you want to go. I would absolutely recommend using resources like that to just help you out and know that you're there and you're supported, and there are other people going through similar journeys or have been where you've been, or who can ease the pressure. Watching a video from Brad Yates about stress, it helps you feel like you're not there all by yourself, just out on stress island. And it helps you on a vibrational level and shifts you up. It shifts your vibration up to the next level that you want to be on. It releases any stuck energy and any blockages. And that's the same with mentors and coaches. They lift you to that next level. Books will lift you to that next level. So use what's available to you and really allow yourself to take in and be a sponge, be constantly learning and growing, and go to the courses if you want to do courses, read the books, do the online things, watch the YouTube channels, listen to the podcasts, connect with whoever you need to get to, because that's a resource, allowing yourself to really learn and grow in whatever way it needs to in that point in time. Just be open to it. Be open to whichever resource shows itself is the next resource for you. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed this episode today. I've loved bringing it to you, and I've loved sharing all of this with you, a bit more about my experience and basically interviewing myself as though I was someone else. So I really hope you guys have enjoyed this episode today, and if you have, please leave me a comment or a 5-star review on the podcast. I would literally love to hear from you and connect with you guys. So just message me, say hi, connect with me on social media. I would love to hear from you, and I'm so much looking forward to connecting with you guys again soon.